All right, so I'll go mute all here and we'll get started. All right, so this is the Olympic Orators Toastmasters Club, of course, and we're doing a training on the new Toastmasters Pathways program for us to progress through our path within Toastmasters. And I'll get started from the very beginning, and I'll share my screen so that you guys can see what's going on, and get rid of this tray here. I was already in it, so I just want to go from scratch, and you pull up any web browser and you go to toastmasters.org, right? So for some of you that you might say, oh yeah, and then you'll get that pop-up screen. You can pick your preferences, and I just X'd out for the purpose of what we're doing. And then you'll see here's the layout here. Right here it says welcome Josh, which means I'm already logged in. So you'll normally come here and then you'll have to log in. All my data is saved because I use Chrome as my web browser. So Chrome, I can tell it to save my login info. If for some reason you don't know what it is, hit your forgot password. And if you don't have access to this yet, you don't have an account, join a club, and it'll walk you through how to do that here online. Okay. And we're again the Olympic Orators Club for that purpose. Okay, so we'll log in here. And again, when you log in, you automatically get the, hey, do you want emails, mail, third-party stuff? All right, so let's just ask you for some preferences here. And again, I'm just going to cancel out so we can get in. So right away, the screen kind of stays the same once you've logged in. You'll see it says Pathways right here. That's where we want to go. You click on it and it gives you this little drop down. You can click any of these and it'll take you into some pathway into Pathways, which if you haven't done it before, you've never done this before, then you have to do choose a path. When you click on choose a path, then here, are you choosing for yourself, or if you're a leader in the group, are you choosing for another member? Then you would say continue to path selection, and it would take you through a test, ask you a bunch of different questions about what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish, and then it will select a path for you. You can choose to say the path you selected, I don't want that path, and you can choose your own path, okay? So just be aware of that. I'm not sure what it'll give us because I've already done this before. Oh yeah, so your first pathway is free, okay? Any other pathways, you can see I've logged in, I can do it again. I can take another assessment. I've got to pay another $20. So for every new pathway, you have to pay another $20 after your first one. Your first one is free with your membership, right? And so I could take my assessment and let's see what happens here. Select a language, right? Let's do it in German just for the fun. No, I'm just kidding. So I could get going here, and then it's of course would charge me, I believe, if I hit start, but or you could skip assessment also and go straight to just selecting the path that you want, the pathway that you want, okay? So that's just a little information about the getting started if you've never done this before. Are there any questions around just I haven't taken the assessment, how do I take it? You can unmute yourself too by hovering over the screen.
No questions.
No questions, okay. Cool.
Okay, here's my question.
Go ahead.
It's the assessment that costs $20. It's
yes.
not the pathway, but it's the assessment. So I can skip the assessment, choose a pathway.
Oh, no. If you skip the assessment, it's still it'll charge you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's the actual pathway. It's not just the assessment.
So you're paying for the actual content.
Exactly. Yep. So when you no matter what, if you take the assessment or you skip the assessment, you pick a pathway and then it unlocks the content. You have to pay for that content after the first one. Cool? Any
Yeah.
other questions around that? Okay, all right,
Mhm.
good. So we won't go into that then, since I don't want to pay for another one right now. Okay, now let's just jump into, let's say I've already taken the assessment, I've chosen a pathway. Either way, I have my first pathway. When you click the pathways button, just go to Basecamp. Basecamp is just the name of the online tool that they use to house the courses. Okay, it's what they call an LMS, a learning management system. Okay, and that's the name of it. The brand is called Basecamp. Okay. As you go in here, again, I guess now they've just changed the pathway. It used to be a little bit different, but either way, you want to access. I keep saying pathway. Uh, pathway different from the pathway that you actually choose. It's like a different way to get to this button is what I'm saying. So let's go to Basecamp here. And this is the standard user. You'll go in to Basecamp, and this is what you'll see. Now immediately you see it's friendly here. You can take a tour. If you click on take a tour, it will tell you there's a search box here. You can search for anything in this. So let's do a quick, oops, let's X that out. All right, so if I come in here and I go leadership, all right, it already starts pulling up guessing for me. And I can also hit enter, and it'll pull up whatever, trainings, okay, it'll pull up that have some sort of leadership in them, right? Look at this, Japanese, that's cool. Gives you all sorts of different languages. So ethical leadership is one that's in there. All right, and then people, there's no people name with the name leadership, which is not surprising, right? And you can see there's a drop down here too. It's either content or people right now, or you can search everything. All right, we'll go back to the home page. You have to hover over and then scroll down or hover over that. So you hover over the main bar and then it gives you a little drop down. That's the one you have to click. If you just click on this, it doesn't do anything. All right, so again, we'll go back, take the tour, say, all right, great, now I understand that. Next, select to access tutorials organized by topic. This is the Navigating Basecamp button. You click into it, and it has all these tutorial videos of how to do everything in here, which is great. So you can explore your profile, your projects, complete assignments, feedback and recognition, complete a level, pathways, mentor program. So we can learn about any of these things, how to complete a level if we want. We can watch these videos. They also have these facts here, right? Frequently asked questions. You can also contact the membership at Toastmasters, as well as contact them with a phone number. So you can email or call. Lots of support and tutorials and resources again here. Okay, you can check the compatibility of your system, right, to see if it's compatible and how it works with this. So in other words, hey, are pop-up blockers on my web browser going to cause problems for me? You know, what browsers work the best, operating system, you know, what will happen, you know, as far as what PDF reader should I have, all these things, right? Sometimes, you know, cookies, you might get, sometimes if you've ever had an experience where you go back to a website and you can't, it won't function the same way it had in the past because it has been updated, and in your cache that belongs to your browser, it will keep the cookies, and then it'll be old cookies. Sometimes you need to troubleshoot that, obviously, well, obviously not maybe for everybody, but you can clear your cookies, right? I'm in Chrome, so I could go to more tools, and then it has clear browsing data, right? And I can clear my cookies. And if that doesn't work, you can always do flush DNS for those who have a Mac, right? So just a little, so you would go to your command function, you go to command prompt, and then you could Google it, but it's like flush, it's like / flush DNS or something like that. I forget what it is, but flush DNS. Right, so you would do that in case you really needed to totally flush it out and reset. Okay, so that's the tutorial and understanding, you know, all the, oops, there, see, I did it. There, I clicked on the right one, the drop down. That's the tour. Oh, I guess it's not finished. Then you can jump into your transcript. Again, you can go into your feedback area or your badges. You can earn badges, which is just kind of a cool thing in here that they created, just a way to give people kudos. And then your speech evaluations. All right. So, and then, oh yeah, that's right, they do give you this. And then this is your transcript, just right there on your main page for you to look at. Okay. So, oh, I went back. So let's just X out. Next. Okay. Now we're refreshed and we're here. So the first thing you'd want to check out is your transcript. Now you can click on that. You can come down here and it will say open curriculum. That's your content for your pathway. All right. And so I'm going to click it here, or I could do it up here. But either way, the one that says open curriculum. Now you can see the way it's laid out is they have the content for this level, and these are the modules, or I think they call them projects. So these are the 4 projects in my level 1, or do they call this the project? I forget. Either way, I think this is the pathway overall, and then these are the levels, and then you have a project. I think each level is its own project, and these are the lessons within the project, and then the project is completed. Okay, so you can see I have a check mark, check mark, check mark, and I can even view my certificate because I've completed this. What happens when I came down here is I had to hit complete, and then it sent an email to your VP of Education, and then the VP of Education says, okay, they completed it, and they mark it as complete, and then you get this cool certificate. So I achieved level 1 of dynamic leadership, which is my pathway. Okay. Now, once I've done that, then it unlocks the next level. You can see here, these are these arrows. No arrows here because I'm on this. And actually, I just did this one. So let's launch the program. And you see it brings up another web browser. That's why you need to understand your browser and pop-up blockers and all those things. Okay. All right. So you can see it starts off with I've already done it. So down here, let's just tell you, you can navigate left and right with this. You can go back. You can go next within this lesson. Okay, so within this lesson, I can go next or back to go from one little lesson page, I guess. You can go left and right here, or there's this little drop down. Boom, and you can go to the introduction. This is all this same lesson. All right, so I can go to the introduction of this lesson. I've already gone through this. That's why it took me straight to that evaluation, post-evaluation, or post-speech evaluation page. But I will read this content, and I will go through it, and I will take it seriously. I'll pull up my project checklist, and I will go through, and I have a checklist, and I can keep track of things. I can print this off, or I can save it as a PDF by downloading it here and save it as a PDF, and then I can edit it and do whatever I want. So either way, if you want to do it electronically or you want to print it out. Okay, we'll close that. Oh, I closed out all of it. Nope. Then I got to flip back over to this screen. Okay, And that was probably good for you to see that. See, it gives you your assignment. Here's your overview. The purpose is to identify your primary leadership style, right? And so it'll tell me all about it. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Great. Then you go through it, right? Hey, how well are you able to identify your leadership style? And I clicked a 3, okay? And I went through this and I learned about different leadership styles. And you go through and you can see like, hey, it'll give you some directions on some of these. You can just drop that down. Okay, how do you feel about this? I like it because it gives you a little variation in you can see this assessment. Oh, I guess I didn't realize there was more to it. See, I even went past it. I didn't see the scroll button when I went through, so I'll have to go back through and do that. And then afterwards, all right, then I go to this next one. Again, these are all the content you're going to study as you prepare for your talk. Again, look, see, they give you some variety in how you can learn. You learn about all these different areas. Okay, so I really appreciate how they give you a little variety between text and interactive tools, and they all vary. Okay, and then here again, look at this more. So all those things. Now I've gone through and I've done it. I evaluated. Now here's where you can print off your evaluation after you've gone through. You've studied all the content. You're ready to prepare your speech to give at the club. So you can click your evaluation, and this is the evaluation for this very particular lesson within this project, within your pathway. So understanding your leadership style. Again, you can print it off, you can save it as, download it and save it as a PDF, and then you can go through it. You fill out this top portion and send it, email it, or you can take it and hand it to the evaluator, whoever will be your evaluator that day. Okay, and then they have exactly what needs to be evaluated for your speech. And what I love about this is it really gives you a scale. And what I think what happens in most feedback we get from evaluators is there's no real measurable, it's just kind of they're telling you things. And what I really love about this is they can still tell you cool things, but it also gives them, the evaluator, a little more direction on how to evaluate things. It gives you a little description. And I really enjoy that, knowing that I'm being evaluated based on some constructive criteria that has some sort of metric assigned to it. For me, that's helpful. That's how I'm wired. I like seeing that. All right. So that's the evaluation portion there, and you can send that off to anyone. And then afterwards, that's it. So then you're going to give your speech. At that point, do we have any questions about any of that, just going through the content?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, awesome. So at this point, then maybe I give my speech, and I will go back in and I'll log back in. We won't do it here, but I'll log back in. I'll come to open my curriculum. Again, well, maybe it's good because the more times you see it, the more comfortable you get. Come on, Josh. Do it right. Hover over. Hover over and then click the drop down. So, I'll just do it this way just to go through it a different way. And you can see it's the one that says open curriculum. It's dynamic leadership. Don't get confused by all this other stuff. Open curriculum. And now it takes me right to my level 2 right away, where I'm currently at on the lesson I'm at. Oh, and it says 20% because look, there's 5 levels. So I've completed 1 level. That's a 20% completion. All right, so we're going to come back in here. We're going to launch this again. And all it did was take me back over here. Okay, so now, oops, I'm sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. I apologize. So we're going to come back in, say we're logging back in afterwards, and in this case, let's say that a member evaluated my speech because I printed off the evaluation and I handed it to them. Now they give it back to me. I either scan it into my computer or I take a picture of the evaluation form, and then I want to load it in here. I can do it two ways. I can go to my feedback or speech evaluations. It really doesn't matter. It kind of takes you to the same. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Speech, let me correct myself. Speech evaluations is where you can find, let's say for some reason, this is an alternate way to find the speech evaluation for that specific area, that specific lesson, okay? In case you want to go to a place quicker than going into your transcript again. So I have it a couple areas in my transcript, and then I could go here, and it was understanding your leadership style. So I could just find it here, okay? So it would launch, and it would just launch the evaluation resource to print it off again, okay? So now they've printed it off, all that stuff. You want to go into my feedback. And here you see right at the top, feedback, transcript, ePortfolio. This is one way to do this. I go to ePortfolio, I go to documents, and then I will click the level. So I'm on level 2 right now within my area, and then you see it, you can see it says add a file. And then I can add a file, and I don't know, this is just some weird picture. And I can add this file. I also, so well, let me do this. So hey, it just shows up, you know, as this. Now, if it was a, oh, and then if I want, I can delete it, which in this case, I don't want that in there, so I'm going to delete it. But so you can see it gives you this little pathway too, so you can kind of go back, oh, my documents or my ePortfolio, or you can click that again. So my documents, you can see under level 1, when I've uploaded evaluation forms, look, it tells you what evaluation form they are. So it's evaluation resource 2, evaluation resource 3. So it shows me, and it's essentially, they have it linked back to that, that lesson, right? Those first two I had, I guess I didn't put my first lesson in here, but there was a lesson 1, 2, 3 in each pathway, and then the fourth one is you just kind of mark it off, right? So in other words, I'm talking about when you go into, I don't know if I'm making that more confusing, but what, in other words, it links it to when you went into your transcript area and open your curriculum. Oh, I guess I didn't need to do that. But, so yeah, it links it to these levels, right? This was 1, 2, and 3. And then this is like your, hey, I completed it little lesson here. So, so there you go. That's just so you understand the linkage of how those are linking to your, so you know what evaluation goes to what lesson. So we'll go back, excuse me, we'll go back into my feedback area, and we'll go to ePortfolio. Documents. Again, I love it because it keeps it here, so it tracks it, so you, whenever you want to just go back a level, you can. And level 1, what you'll also notice in here is I also have a note from Susan Glenn. And I have other notes that I probably need to evaluate or upload here, but I just take pictures of these notes that people give me, and then I upload them in here. I think it's just awesome to see a note. You know, you can click on it and you can see it loads up. Hey, Josh, you speak with such persuasive power. I believe everything you say. It's an awesome little note from Susan Glenn that I can see here. Oops, and I can apparently zoom in on if I want. So let's, oh yeah, you go back. You don't want to click out. You go back. Okay. And then as well, you can also do that if obviously if it's electronic, you can have them scan it and send it to you, or if they did it just through a PDF, they can save it to their computer and email it to you and upload it here. Or here in the feedback area, they can upload it here. So you can see Kyla gave me a kudos and a badge. So she sent me a message before, gave me some feedback here. So that, and I can share this comment so everybody can see it, that she gave me kudos. But I can also request feedback here. So I can say feedback request. How was my presentation on Pathways? And then I'm going to find someone. So I'm going to say Keith Crossley, Club Sergeant at Arms. And it'll only pull up people who are in the system, right? So then I can also ask for anonymous feedback. All right, and then I can, so let's say, well, let's do this. I'm asking for it. And I'm just going to say, sure, I don't care. Everybody can see it. And then I post. All right. And so now he'll get a message and he'll be able to respond back. Well, it was pretty good. Here's some things I thought you did well. Here's some things I thought you did different, right? Just like Kyla sent me this message. And you can see whenever you do that, you can respond and you could upload a document. So you could technically upload that evaluation form as well with this little attachment button, right? Attach a file. So that's another way you can do that. So that's how the feedback works. It's either you just upload it here, just do it as normal, do it on paper, or do it as a PDF. And then here's where my badges reside. So, hey, I achieved my level 1. I activated my dynamic leadership, and someone gave me an exceptional job badge. Any questions around the evaluation portion?
Nope.
Okay, I'm good.
Cool. All right, let's move on then. We'll go back to home. I think, honestly, that's probably all you need to, oh, yes. Okay, so here's what we were gonna do. Well, I could have done it in there. But either way, so let's go back, find my pathway, dynamic leadership. I'm gonna open my curriculum. Let's just show you how you complete something, right? So let's show you, oh, it should be open over here already. So now we'll come back here. I've given my speech. I received an evaluation from another member of my club, and I uploaded it into my system along with notes from other members who were kind enough to give me some notes. Now I come back and I open my curriculum again and launch where I'm at in this lesson. And it says, it takes you right to the last page you were at, assess your skills after. Am I able to identify different leadership styles? I would say yes. I recognize my preferred leadership style. Yes, absolutely. I understand how my behavior and chosen leadership style may impact those whom I'm expected to lead. Yes. Okay, and I'm rating 5s. I'm one of those guys. Everything's a 5 for me if I'm feeling like I got it. If I don't, then it's probably a 4. I'm just one of those guys. So my 4 may be your 1, and my 5 may be your 4, right? So just this is your own personal evaluation, and you walk through this. I can analyze and adjust my leadership style to fit a situation or relationship. I think I'm still working on that, but I'm getting better. right? And then I understand the purpose of effective leadership and the qualities that make a good leader. Yes, absolutely. I recognize how this project applies to my life outside of Toastmasters. If anything, yes. I mean, I've used some of these principles in some of my coaching programs that I use because I thought they were so awesome. Okay, so, and then I hit submit. Great, and it says, look, here, comparison, before and after, right? So look, you improved in a few areas. There you kind of still, stayed the same, but I improved in some areas. That's good. I can actually see that I'm improving. I think that's important. All right, that's that. And then I go to next. Congratulations, you've completed this project. You are now ready to advance to the next project on your path. Okay, so they call each of these a little project, is what they do. Okay, so boom, I did it because I submitted that assess your skills after page. That's what does it. So now if we come back here, it refreshes and hey, boom, it gives me a little check mark. I guess I can even evaluate. I can go back in it if I want. And oh, this is feedback for them. So hey, I can give feedback on what I think of their module. And you can see, hey, now I've completed another 5% of my 20% in this level. So that gives you an idea of how you progress, and then it unlocks each of these, right? So I have to hit activate to unlock this one. I think if I do it, okay, it'll activate it either way. But just gives you more stuff that maybe you don't want to, like it'll give you more pop-ups, more of those pop-ups over here, right? So it gives you more stuff here. That, I think that's all you need to know right there, really, is how to now check them off, and then you'll just keep checking them off, and then I'll do the same thing here. And when you do it here again on this this folder, which encompasses this whole project within this level of my pathway, then it'll ask me to, it'll have a, I forget what it says here, but it says like complete. But when it does that, then it notifies the leadership, the VP of education, who will then click it on their side, and then it'll mark as complete for you. So it can happen almost instantaneously. They get an email, and I even call real quick my leader to make sure that they check it off right away. Okay, that should do it. And I'm going to be honest about this. These are extra resources for evaluations. I believe I'd have to, let's go back to my curriculum and see if this one is just one, like maybe they want you to mark it off in this second area. I don't know why they would, but let's just go back to my level 1 icebreaker, evaluation and feedback, researching and presenting. I haven't really clicked into those, so I don't know why this, let's see, improvement through positive coaching evaluation. Okay. Oh, so maybe this is from, I'm not sure where I got this, because if it was from someone, maybe they would have filled it out, or if it was mine, I don't know. But don't worry about that. Just find your open curriculum, and maybe down the road I'll have to figure out what these are, and fiddle around with it more. It's just not what I've done, because I get so focused on just accomplishing what I need to accomplish within my pathway. All right. Any questions about anything we've gone over today?
I am good, and this is the part of the conversation where I have to bail for a meeting that I have to go to, and so I'll reconnect to watch the rest. So I just wanted to know what's an easy way for me to connect online with you guys. Because this Zoom session is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it'd be nice to chat and connect, like even on Pathways or whatever.
Yeah. For right now, like I think Pathways is not necessarily a mode of communication, but you should join the Olympic Orators Facebook group and send me an invite on Facebook. Josh Breckeisen.
Okay.
All of my social media has the same, has my same picture, so I have the same branding everywhere.
Okay.
This is my picture, right? So you'll see that same branding. It's just Josh Breckeisen. And connect with me, because this is where, like, when we want to communicate with others in our group, I think, let's see, pages. You don't need to worry about that necessarily going. I would like our page for sure, but just look us up and send us a friend request on Facebook, because that's where we do most of our promotions of our speeches and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
Sounds great. Thank you, Josh.
yep, absolutely.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it very much.
Right. See you guys. That's it. That's all I got. If you have any other questions, you can, again, message me on Facebook. You can email me at josh@genuinerecruiting.com. josh@genuinerecruiting.com. Don't call me. I'm usually doing something and I don't pick up the phone, but you can try to text or email or message me, and I'll answer.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.